Welcome to State of the Offense. Today we will preview the Detroit Lions Green Bay Packers game for Thursday Night Football. Jared Goff for the year is the quarterback 11 in fantasy points scored. He and his two primary weapons, Amon-Ra St. Brown and rookie tight end Sam Laporta, have been very effective so far this year. The Packers have two cornerbacks who are questionable for tonight, so a good game should be in the works. Green Bay's defense matches up fairly well with Detroit, so I don't expect a huge game from Goff. Plus, Taylor Decker is questionable at left tackle, so things are just lining up okay for Jared Goff. I recommend starting Goff if he's your best quarterback on your fantasy team. He's my quarterback 11 this week. The Detroit running back situation is not too clear going into the game. David Montgomery is listed as questionable, so all we know is that Jahmyr Gibbs will definitely play. Jahmyr Gibbs has produced the 27th most fantasy points among running backs so far this year. I think that he'll get around half the running back work this week. He's my running back 30 this week, but if Montgomery is inactive, I can see him finishing in the top 20. All indications right now are that Montgomery will play, so Gibbs is not a startable running back for the game. David Montgomery has produced the 28th most points in the league at running back, even though he's seen limited action. If he's active tonight, I think that he'll get more work than Jahmyr Gibbs. The inactives have not been released yet, so I'm being cautious with David Montgomery's ranking. Right now, he's my running back 33, so I recommend not starting him. Amon-Ra St. Brown has been the wide receiver 9 so far this year, and he's been dominating the short to mid receiving game with rookie tight end Sam Laporta. I think that wide receiver 9 for his weekly ranking is good too. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a must-start wide receiver every week, and this week is no different. Josh Reynolds and Kalif Raymond have been the second and third wide receivers for the Lions in production so far this year, even though Marvin Jones Jr. is third in snaps. Reynolds has been solid. He has been the wide receiver 40 in points scored, which is higher than most people would have ranked him in the preseason. I rank him as my wide receiver 49 this week, which keeps him on the bench for fantasy purposes. Kalif Raymond has surpassed Marvin Jones in the passing game pecking order. Raymond is the wide receiver 53 so far this year, which is outstanding for a wide receiver 4 in snaps on his team. I rank Kalif Raymond as my wide receiver 54 this week, and I believe that he should not start this week either. Marvin Jones has completely fallen off the radar in production, but he is still on the field for the Lions. He is the wide receiver 132 for the year, and he should not be on anyone's roster. Rookie tight end Sam Laporta has been one of the biggest surprises of the season so far. Laporta has scored the second most fantasy points from the tight end position in the league. He's merging as a must-start in fantasy at tight end. I only rank Laporta as my tight end 16 this week, but if he's your best guy, you need to start him. I don't expect a great week from Laporta, but he's been very productive and he should start unless you have an elite tight end like a Travis Kelce or a TJ Hawkinson ahead of him. For the year, Jordan Love is the quarterback 6 in fantasy football. One of the pleasant surprises of his play is that he's been adding a few fantasy points on the ground, which is something he didn't show in college at Utah State. Love took over the game against New Orleans and dominated the fourth quarter. The Lions won't offer as much resistance as the Saints defense, so I expect a strong showing from Jordan Love tonight. I rank Love as my quarterback 6 for the week, and unless you have a Justin Herbert or a Patrick Mahomes on your fantasy team, Love should start for you. Aaron Jones has missed 2 games after tearing up the Bears in week 1. He's still the running back 39 in total points scored despite only playing in 1 game. I love Aaron Jones coming into this game. I rank him as my running back 2 in the entire league going into Thursday night. The Packers will be very hard to defend with Aaron Jones and Christian Watson on the field together. A.J. Dillon has not been good in relief of Aaron Jones. The offensive line has struggled with Bakhtiari and Jenkins missing time. Dillon has only been the running back 53 in points scored so far this year. The Lions are not known for their run stopping, so I have a sneaky feeling that Dillon may be able to score some points with Aaron Jones being back. I'm ranking A.J. Dillon as my running back 16, and I'm starting him on the team that I have him. The Packers' young wide receivers group has shown very well for itself without Christian Watson. The Packers wide receiver group has 4 starter quality wide receivers on the roster with Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jayden Reed, and Dontayvion Wicks. Romeo Doubs is the wide receiver 31 so far in fantasy points scored, but he's missed some snaps, so that number is misleading. He's been very strong on a per snap basis. I rank Romeo Doubs as my wide receiver 17 this week. Jayden Reed and Dontayvion Wicks have not looked like rookies at all this year, and it can be argued that they were more NFL ready as rookies than Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs were last year. Jayden Reed has scored the 41st most fantasy points for the year at wide receiver. I think that the addition of Watson to the lineup will only give he and Doubs less attention and coverage. I rank Reed as my wide receiver 18 for the week, and you could probably start any of the 3 Packers wide receivers in your lineup. I understand if you're cautious about starting Christian Watson. I'm conservatively ranking Watson as my wide receiver 31 this week. Luke Musgrave has performed as the number 10 tight end in the league in the first 3 weeks. Unfortunately for him, Sam Laporta is the bigger rookie tight end story right now. I think that the Packers passing game will be humming tonight, so Musgrave has the chance to be a worthy starter in fantasy. I rank Luke Musgrave as my tight end 11 for the week. Unless you have someone like Kelsey, Andrews, or Hockenson, you should probably be starting Luke Musgrave on your fantasy team. If you like today's coverage of the Packers-Lions game, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.